Charlie, my fellow Swiftie, um,
Hello, hello.
excited to chat about everything that went down last night. I know
Yeah.
a bummer that you had to go out so soon. Okay, I want to talk about first, like obviously you were gunning for Rizzo. They were kind of showing that for a few episodes leading into this. But did you know that he was kind of doing the same? Like, were you aware that you were the other option on this boat?
So I knew Rizzo was coming for me, because he had said some comment to Rick, which Rick sent back to me. So I knew Rizzo was gunning for me, but I was just totally blind to the fact that he had gotten any sort of traction with like Dee and Camilla. So I still felt safe in my numbers, but no, there was a specific comment where I think I was talking with Jonathan. And I was like, listen, I like know Rizzo's like targeting me. He's like probably gonna write my name down. Like if he has an idol, like I'm probably just going home because we weren't like gonna do a vote split or anything. Um, and so I knew he was coming for me, and I was kind of like, listen, if he plays a shot in the dark and it hits or like whatever, or he has an idol and sends me home, like I'll take that chance. Like I know that like that would be the outcome, but I didn't expect that, he had enough votes to get me out.
Oh, that was going to be my next question. Like, did you think going into that tribal that like every vote except Rizzo's was going to be on him? Like, did you think you had everyone with you?
Uh yeah. Yeah, I did. Because, I thought the our four from Kala was gonna stick together, and then, in my head Devins did vote for Rizzo, and then, I thought that Suri and Devins were gonna vote together. Obviously we saw on TV that they were close, so that was a bunch of reasons why I thought it was like unexpected. Like I didn't expect Suri to split off from Devins. I didn't expect Dee and Camilla to flip on me and flip on Jonathan. So there was just a lot of factors that went into like that blind side. And yeah, they pulled it off for sure.
Did you have to kind of do like a lot of scrambling on the beach before? Like, what were the like who were you really trying to talk to before the
Um,
vote to make sure it was
I
going your
mean, yeah, there was like the usual scrambling, but I mean, from my perspective, like we had control of the numbers, so like I
way?
wasn't trying to like over engineer anything. I mean, they did a good job like hiding the fact that they were targeting me, for sure. So there were definitely conversations, but it was just kind of, to me, it was just kind of like, consensus arriving on Rizzo, and then, just making sure that we're all on the same page and yada, yada, yada. So.
Who would you say you were kind of like the closest to and working with the closest of people on that tribe?
I mean, I would have told you like out of that tribe, I would have been like, okay, like D is the person that I would have the most loyalty to. I mean, partly because, we had like a friendship outside the game.
Mm.
So that was sort of what was going through my head, but obviously not reciprocated as we saw. But I was also tight with Camilla. I was also tight with Jonathan, especially like I was tight with Camilla and D from like from like our first tribe, and was like had a good relationship with Jonathan. Sort of got a stronger bond going with Jonathan on that new swap tribe. So I mean, I thought I was good with all of them. Obviously, that was not true. But yeah, so that, I mean, that just sort of went into why I was feeling like I had some room to kind of play with like a little more emotion and
Mhm.
all of that as we saw. So yeah.
The edit kind of made it seem like Rizzo was the one who really totally spearheaded the vote. But like, I can't imagine with three players like Suri, Dee, and Camilla on a tribe that they weren't like putting some work into a situation here. So
Oh,
like,
I mean, from my perspective, like when that happened, I immediately was like, this. I think they didn't show it, but like, well, first of all, as soon as Rizzo didn't play his shot in the dark, which is what I thought was going to happen, because I was like, I'm pretty sure he knows that like, it's not looking good. Like there wasn't like there weren't a ton of alternatives like in my eyes. So I was pretty sure Rizzo was going to play his shot in the dark. So as soon as he did not play it, I was like, I think I actually said like I'm cooked. Like I looked around and I was like, oh no. Like I just knew immediately, because when there's something that you don't know is happening, and then especially when I saw my first name come out, I was like, I'm done. Like I'm out. Like, and I went to D and I was like, you did this. Like I was like, this was you. I was like, was this you? So I mean, obviously props to Rizzo for surviving. From my perspective, it was like I felt that like it could not have happened at all if Dee and Camilla didn't flip.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that Dee and Camilla are maybe like a little closer than what they're kind of showing us?
I mean, I think they've shown that they are close. I mean, they showed that Dee, Tiffany, and Camilla were really tight on Kahlo, and they had like a very like out front, out in the open alliance. And I think that's part of the reason like Dee made some comment being like, he's playing the dumbest game. Like I think Dee and I were just playing very differently. She was playing, in my opinion, like very cards on the table, and like, you know, she was like very open with that alliance on Kahlo, and I think like created some not like enemies, like they weren't like, you know, they didn't hate each other, but like in terms of, you know, drawing people targeting her, like definitely did that on Kahlo.
Hmm.
And I was just more of the mind of like, listen, like we're early in the game. Let's not take any crazy big shots. Like, let's not turn on each other unnecessarily. Like, let's sort of get to emerge and assess the situation there. Whereas I think Dee and Camilla, and I think Camilla even talked about it. She was like, I'm just ready to, you know, after 48's honor and integrity theme, like she was just ready to like backstab people.
Yeah.
So I think both of them were like much more like gung ho, like let's get names out there, let's do all of that. And I was more like, hey, like I want to work with you, but like there's no reason why we need to like be creating these like super strong divisions. So I think that was sort of the dichotomy between like me and like Dee and Camilla. But I definitely thought that I was working with them still. Yeah.
You obviously didn't get a chance to see Rizzo season before you played. I'm assuming you
Hmm.
watched it now. So what
Yeah, yeah.
what is your feelings about the fact that he voted for Savannah to win now? Because obviously, you know, you saw that they were clearly closely aligned too.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, so I learned that almost immediately because Savannah was at Ponderosa.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just laughed. I really just thought it was so comical. I was like, oh, this is gonna look so silly to the viewers who like they probably barely even understand that like I never got to see 49, but like they'll have just watched it before 50. So I was like, if they choose this to tell this story on 50, like it's gonna seem like so out of nowhere, to them at least. But you know, it was honestly, as soon as I figured that out, I was like, oh, this is just funny. Like, and to be clear, like even like out there on the beach, I was not like, you know, Rizzo's a terrible human and a
Yeah.
terrible person. Like I kind of, you know, kind of was like leaning into that emotion about like that betrayal. But like I also talked about in confessionals, like about how like, you know, there were positive things about Rizzo that I liked too, and how that sort of was complex. So
Well, this was like your first time ever actually getting voted out of Survivor. And like you kind of had the
Mhm.
moment where you put your head in your hands when you were like doing your exit interview. So, like, when did that really sink in and like what was going through your head in that moment?
I mean, it sinks in quick. It's just a lot. It's a lot because you're trying to like figure out what happened. I mean, I knew that like, you know, Dean basically gathered enough info to know that Dee and Camilla had flipped on me. But yeah, you know, just a lot of disappointment. You put so much time into like the casting process of the season, then you know, so much energy into like the pregame press, and then the actually playing the game itself. So it's just it all sort of comes crashing down, and it's you know disappointing to go out early. So, and especially like, you know, I was fortunate to get really far in 46. So I was definitely bummed, and, you know, I wanted to win. I wanted to win the season. Did not want to lose. So yeah, definitely disappointment, but also a lot of gratitude in that moment. There's a lot of like production members there when you do your final words, and I remember having a nice moment with all of them. And then the other thing is like you're just really tired. At
Yeah.
that point, you're really, really tired. Like it's emotionally draining. You're obviously physically drained. It's just a lot. So that was went into the head in the hands.
Yes, I can only imagine. What Taylor Swift song would you say sums up your experience on Survivor 50?
Uh, Maybe like would have, could have, should have.
There you
uh,
go.
yeah, probably that's probably a good one. Also, a great song. But yeah, you know, just I think when you lose Survivor, no matter where you lose or how you lose, it's a lot of here's what I would have done, should have done, could have done, until the end of your days.
Well, I remember she got her master's back while you guys were in Fiji,
Yes.
and
Yes.
my coworker Kelly was out there with you guys covering it. She couldn't be here today, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you have to tell Charlie, but I don't know if she was allowed to.
So I've talked to different press people after the fact, and I think they were told they couldn't tell me.
Yeah, so you
Which
didn't
is
find
such a
out.
bummer.
Yeah.
It would have been so funny to like get that news like after not having my phone for a couple days.
Yeah, I
But it
know.
was great. It was great to come back to once I finally did get my phone back.
Yeah, some good news, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you played these two seasons pretty close together. I know, like, who knows
Yeah.
when they're going to do another returning player season again, but would you be down to play a third time if you were asked back?
Yeah, I'd for sure be down. I mean, with the caveat always being like it's like going out on Survivor is like a big life commitment and interruption. So like you always have to be like, okay, where am I in my life? Can I make this work? I obviously really want to make it work, but like so you always have to consider that. And then yeah, but I'll always answer the phone when they call, and I'll definitely more than hear them out. So it's been such an honor to be a part of the franchise and to play twice, to play on a legendary, epic memorial season, monumental season. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll bring out like me, Rizzo, and Maria for a rivals season.
Oh God. We're going to put that in the atmosphere? Okay. Let's see.
You asked about
Yeah.
it.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure chatting with you. So sorry to see you go home so soon, but have a great day.
Appreciate it. Yeah, nice to chat.